Before the dawn of time, in the last millennium, at Her Majesty's Theatre in London, comic history was made. Monty Python teamed up with Beyond the Fringe in aid of Amnesty International. The success of these shows has lasted for nearly 3 decades. They also led on to Live Aid and Comic Relief. The Amnesty shows were such a landmark that those of us who took part can't remember much about them.
Good evening, madam, and your name is? Mrs. Yeti Goose Creature.
I'm sorry I can remember so little about it. It's very embarrassing.
Plenty of people remember you. We all want to see Basil Brush back on television. Not Basil Brush.
Because I can't remember anything about it.
I, most royally, shall now to bed, to sleep off all the nonsense I've just said.
And the odd thing is I can't remember any of these events at all.
And then I want to end it, if I may, Norwich. Norwich, yes. Well, it's an idiomatic way of saying, knickers off, Fredo, when I come home.
I'd totally forgotten the words, though I must have said it 1,200 times.
I'd basically forgotten being involved in it at all.
I can't remember what happened, actually.
Never! Leave orifice alone.
If I could just remember
one thing.
You don't even know me, do you, Saunders? You don't even realise that...
But I remember being shite. I remember thinking, you know, we should have rehearsed this.
I forget who was on drums.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I'll sleep all night and I work all day. He's a lumberjack, he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day.
The series of shows known as The Secret Policeman's Ball was a turning point in British comedy and music. The roll call was a rich mix of styles and talents brought together for the first time.
He goes to the lavatory. On Wednesdays he goes shopping and has buttons John's 14. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day. I cut down trees, I skip and jump. I like to dress wildflowers. I put on women's clothing and hang around in bars. He cuts down trees, he skips and jumps. He likes to press wildflowers. He puts on women's clothing and hangs around in bars. He's a lumberjack, he's okay.
The first benefit show was the brainchild of John Cleese, a godfather of British comedy. His reputation persuaded performers to give their services for free. They wanted to raise money and awareness for Amnesty International, which was then a little-known human rights charity fighting to end torture and free prisoners of conscience.
It began when Amnesty had very little money at all, and one day I noticed a cheque go by, signed J. Cleese, and I knew somebody who vaguely knew him, so I phoned her up and begged the telephone number, which she gave me. And one day I phoned John. It was lunchtime. I kind of remember it because there was a crunching sound at the other end of the phone because John was eating a lettuce sandwich.
And he said, how can we raise money for Amnesty? Well, it seemed like the most obvious thing in the world. I said, let's do a stage show, because that's the one thing, I guess, that I knew how to organise.
And he said, well, if I'm going to do this, we've got to give it for two or three nights. There's no point in doing it just for one night. You find the theatre. I'll give you the telephone numbers of the people. And if you can get them, we'll go ahead. And except for a couple of them who were away or couldn't manage it, they all said yes.
We wanted it to be something that people could go along to in the evening, and it was 10 o'clock, don't forget, when the show started.
Actually, John, it was nearer midnight.
Because there'd been another show in the theatre that had just finished, a proper professional show that night, in a West End theatre, and then we would go along and entertain them, hopefully for 2 hours.
Ah, even I remember the words of this one.
Oh, God. Ed Parrot's sketch. Oh, dear me.
I wish to register a complaint.
The content of the Amnesty show was very simple. It was stuff that people knew well, would not have to spend a lot of time rehearsing, and which was tried and trusted. We knew it was going to work.
Remarkable bird, the Norwegian blue, innit, eh? Beautiful plumage.
The plumage don't enter into it. He's stone dead.
No, he's resting. All right, then, if he's resting, I'll wake him up. Hello, Mr. Polly Parrot. I've got a nice fresh cuttlefish for you if you wake up. Is that him? No, he didn't. That was you.
This is only 1976, and yet the sketch is already a cliche of comedy, and John and Mike know it backwards, and of course the audience knows it backwards as well. I mean, John and Mike could be just miming, and the audience could have said the words.
And this is one of the very best stage performances I think we ever did. I mean, I've never seen John at such sort of high voltage. It was absolutely terrific. He does a great routine with it. There should be sort of an Olympic sport of parrot bashing, and he would win hands down. Look at that. Bong, 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 bang, bang, thwack, bang, dong, bong. Where's he get it from? Incredible. I've never seen him do that before. And we did that show many times on stage after that. I don't think it ever worked quite as well.
Now, that's what I call a dead parrot. He's stunned.
The audience is already laughing because they know what's coming. And sometimes you can see it throws their timing. And because the timing's different, their performance becomes different. And you see Mike breaking up, he often starts laughing.
He's probably pining for the field.
Pining for the field?
I got him home. The Norwegian blue prefers keeping on his back. Remarkable bird, eh, Squire? Beautiful plumage.
Some of the sketches became national treasures.
Do you remember when Margaret Thatcher used part of this sketch at a Tory conference? I think it was about the Lib Dem party, and they persuaded her to do it. And of course, she was good at many things, but she was not very good. They coached her.
This is an ex-parrot. It is not merely stunned, it has ceased to be, expired, and gone to meet its maker.
But she actually used quite a lot of it, and the Pythons were all convinced that we should take her to court and sue her for breach of copyright.